okay, when we really start to dig deep into comparing, we really need to figure out, well, what are we actually comparing and why are we comparing? And to be honest with you, why it typically doesn't serve us very much. We all do it and we're all going to continue to compare. We have to learn back, we got to peel back the reasons why we're comparing ourselves, what we're comparing, and really dig into how we can have a healthy relationship with comparing. So first and foremost, what are we comparing? Well, as adults, first and foremost, I believe we're trying to compare what I would say status. The status of our abilities, our career paths, how successful we are. We're comparing our money, our houses, our cars, the clothes we wear, everything around financial success. We're also, what I think is the worst thing to do, but I do it, I believe most parents do it, if not 100% of parents, we're comparing our kids. We're comparing our kids to other kids and how successful and talented they are. And I got to tell you, I truly believe that that's probably one of the worst things you could do as a parent is put too much pressure on your child to be successful. I'll tell you that the intent, we all want successful children, right? So the intent is there. But when you put too much pressure on your children because you're insecure and you want to compare your child to how successful they are academically or how successful they are on the sport, in whatever sport they're in, it really, in the messages you're sending to them around your insecurity about comparing them to other kids is really detrimental to their success. So if you find yourself doing this, and we all do, please be aware of it. And I know the intent is there, but be aware of the reasons behind the comparison and be aware of the messages that you're sending to your child. All right. So speaking of children, and especially daughters, what are they comparing themselves to? I believe they're doing the same thing. They are comparing their status and their abilities, their academic abilities, their sporting abilities, their strength, mental and physical. They're comparing their financial status too. What name brand clothes are they wearing? What kind of cars they drive? What kind of houses they live in? But obviously the third thing, I believe, our daughters especially, and another really sad thing is they're comparing their bodies and their body images against other girls that they're seeing in school or on social media, right? And we all know how damaging comparing our bodies to others, especially when you're a young female, a young teenager age, how damaging that can be. But I do believe that's what they're comparing. They're also comparing their bodies, their money, their status. So we know whether we're an adult or a child, we're comparing status. Okay, and so why are we comparing? Why do we all compare? Whether we're scrolling on social media or we're comparing in our neighborhoods or at school or in our offices. Well, I believe the main reason why we compare is because we really do want to feel unique and special. We want to feel good about ourselves, right? We want to feel special. Now, I said in my video earlier this month that a lot of times I found myself comparing and having a negative experience with comparison because I was focusing on my differences. However, I do believe we all want to be different and unique and special, and that's why we compare. So how do you become comfortable enough in your own skin where you're not jealous of others and you can actually have a positive experience with comparison? Well, you need to be living, 100% believe this, is you need to be living a life of purpose. Whether you're still in school, in high school, in college, or you're an adult, you have to live a life of purpose and passion. And how do you know what that is? Well, I hope you've been with me for a while now, and you know that to truly be comfortable in your own skin and in your own life, you have to live in alignment with your values, right? And when you live in alignment with your values, you then find out that the comparison that you do with others, whether social media or in real life, actually can become a positive experience. You can actually have a healthy comparison when you're looking at what other people are doing. You're looking at them on maybe different ideas, how you can think differently, or you can grow or become more than what you are today. But you don't have the unhealthy comparison because you don't want to be that other person. You're healthy and happy living within your own values. And when you're living in your own values, your money is in alignment with how you live in those values as well. So that jealousy, that comparison, that negative competition dissipates. Okay, so when we watch that negative comparison dissipate, we are living in true purpose with our lives. However, let's be real, most people are not at that stage, and especially our young female daughters are living in a world of comparison. So why does comparing not really serve us? Well, I truly believe that it is because of, again, I'm going to say, our hidden beliefs, our limited beliefs that have happened in our mind from when we were, before we were even 6, 7, 8 years old. We have these negative beliefs about how our life should be. And what we need to do is to really hone in on those negative beliefs, and you're going to watch comparing yourself to others change. So let me give you an example of a negative belief that I believe we probably all have when we are comparing ourselves to others. I would say a negative belief would be you're scrolling and you're thinking, wow, my life isn't really working out like I thought it would, or I'm not at the level where I think I should be based on where I am today. And so that would be a negative belief. And so what is that negative belief? What it really is a belief about low expectation in life. And you probably don't even realize it, that you have a low expectation belief in your life. So how do you move through this low expectation? Well, first of all, look at your life and look at one of your core values where you're maybe not living in full commitment to that value, or somewhere in your life where you feel life is less than satisfying for you, okay? And when you do that, you want to start to identify what the negative belief would be. Is it a low expectation? Or So you want to identify where you're lacking in your life and where life is not satisfying to you. You want to then figure out what is that belief that you actually believe, okay? And what is actually holding you back, because that there is a hidden belief there that's holding you back. Then what you need to do is you need to take action on challenging yourself to come up with a new belief. A new belief around low expectation could be a belief around that your life is actually working better than you thought it could be at this stage in your life. Does that make sense? So you need to come up with a new belief around an area that is not satisfying, one of that core values that aren't satisfying to you in your life right now, and come up with a new belief and live that belief on a daily basis. And once you start to peel back this and change these limiting beliefs to something more of a positive association with wherever your challenges in your life, you're going to start to see that you become more fulfilled, more whole, more true to yourself. Your worth grows, your self-esteem grows, and then you're going to realize that when you start to get into the situation of comparing your life to someone else's life again, it's not going to be a negative experience. It's going to be a growth experience, a growth opportunity to go, oh, what can I learn from this person versus how this person is making me feel bad. And I hope this makes sense, because this stuff is so true and so real. And we have to, as moms and as business owners and as women in general, teach our daughters this kind of stuff. Get in a conversation with them about what their beliefs are about their body, what their beliefs are about money, what are their beliefs about their ability. And when they start talking negative about those, turn it into, challenge that belief and turn it into something more positive. And you're going to start to see them live a happier and more fulfilled life.